Welcome back to another episode of the Cryptic Cove. I'm your host, the captain himself, Gabe D, and on today's episode, we are going to kick off the series explaining how to build beautiful custom WeakAuras, as this disgusting mess that Blizzard came out with, known as the cooldown manager, is awful. I mean, this thing is disgusting. Does it technically function to show cooldowns? Yes. But there's no customization here. It is a singular block with no options. I can't change any of it. It's clunky, it's messy, it's disgusting. Honestly, Blizzard, do better. We've been doing a lot better on our own for a very long time. So, I want to go ahead and show you how you can get rid of that nasty mess and have beautiful custom WeakAuras. Have you ever watched a stream and you see somebody that has WeakAuras that just wow you? You're looking at them and you're like, wow, this is really nice. That'd be really fantastic. For example, I still have these cooldowns, but the blocks are separated. I can see it a little better. If I use one, you'll notice, boom, it has my count showing me my stacks available. It has my animations showing me the time to cool down. It changes colors when I hit red or when I hit 0 going to red, so that way I know, hey, I don't have that available. I should prep for other abilities and cooldowns. Same thing here. Does the exact same thing. Now, I also have custom WeakAuras that will be a lot more in depth. So, for example, this is a smaller one, but if I use Power Word Shield, I can go ahead and wait for that CD and listen. Power Word Shield. Bam! I have a custom audio alert. Not only did Power Word Shield quickly display on my screen, but I have the audio alert in case I am so distracted looking at something, whether it's watching a pool to see, hey, are we going the right way? Are we all going to line of sight? Does this tank know where he's going? Or if I'm in PvP and I'm like, you know, what's going on over here? Or I'm looking at swirlies on the ground in a raid or something's happening. Do you want even more custom functionality? Because we can do that. So for example, if I go ahead and swap to disk, we can have very unique functionality that is not just on my screen. So if we go ahead and we get a little bit of mana back here, we can do things like we can have barrier pop off, or barrier gets yelled, you heard the audio cue, barrier get in, and it automatically pinged where barrier was to show everybody, please, dear God, get in the gosh barrier so we don't all die. This is what I mean when I say custom WeakAuras. So if you want a UI that is going to not only help you dramatically in your gameplay, but just be beautiful, elegant, and help all your teammates around you as well, stay tuned. We're going to break it down bit by bit, and if you're someone with a ton of WeakAura experience, I promise you don't have to wade through a 20-hour video to find the 2 pieces of information you want. I am going to do this step by step, one at a time, and break them into separate videos so you know exactly what to do. We're going to start by looking at what this menu means, what this menu means, and then building custom WeakAuras and groups and showing it all piece by piece. So let's get into it. All right, we are back on the Mage, and we are going to show you that first menu and explain how everything works. So the first thing we're going to do is type /WA. Now, I want to explain a couple things here, as it's a common pitfall. If this little arrow gets clicked in the top right corner, sometimes WeakAura got stuffed in a weird place, and you were typing /WA, spamming it, frustrated, pissed, yelling at the screen, saying, Cap, this is definitely not working. So just know about that arrow. And the second thing is, if you are in combat, you will not be able to open the WeakAura menu. Do also know that it will automatically open after combat ends. So if you are spamming WA, and you were in combat, do know it's going to pop open the second it is done. So if I get in combat here and I'm typing /WA, I get a warning menu saying, hey, options aren't available right now. And then after a few seconds when I'm out of combat, boom, it pops up. So do know that that is a feature of WeakAura, which is good and bad, I guess. Take it how you will. That being said, let's get into it. So /WA, we will see this menu. This is going to be the first piece in understanding how to make custom WeakAuras. This is essentially trying to get you to understand or say, hey, what kind of WeakAura do we want to make, and how do we organize them? So texture and progress texture, they're essentially the same thing. The difference between them is one has an animation. Texture is something I don't use very often, but progress texture is something that is kind of nice to have. I've used it and built custom WeakAuras for a few people, and it has pretty good functionality. You'll notice that this ring or halo type effect has an animation where it's ticking down. So let's say you're a priest and you have power infusion and you want to know how long power infusion is on your character. You could have this as a tracker to show power infusion counting down. That's kind of nice to have. There is a few abilities where I think it's quite nice and important for some classes. That is a good visual aid. Do also know that you can change what the icon looks like, and there is a ton of pre-scripted options that exist, from shapes to PvP emblems, you name it. There's a ton of stuff in here that will all work. So if you want to flavor your UI so that way it looks a little more like you or your character, it's thematic, which is important to some, including me, you could definitely do that. So that's a good option. Also, do know that we will teach how to do custom images later on, so there's even more options. Now, text is another one. You'll notice this little ticking down timer. Let's say that you want to know you've got juice, so you want to know if you've got PI. So if you get PI'd, you've got juice could appear on your screen saying, go do damages, go pump it. So that's cool. I personally don't like text. I find it a little more intrusive on my screen. But different people like different things. Definitely an option. Stop motion is another one that I never use. I personally don't like this, but you can have this glowy globule effect. And there's a couple of options here. They don't give a ton naturally, but there is some stuff in here. Some people are into them. I don't like them. The reason I don't is I find that it's extremely distracting. And it could be really hard to catch things. Like if I have this on my character and I have a camera angled down, I might miss something on the floor, like, a swirly or something that I shouldn't stand in. So I don't like them. I don't want my raid leader yelling at me. Just kidding. Love you, Rem. But yeah, I don't personally use them. I don't like them, but we definitely have it as an option. We already explained progress texture. Let's see here. So the next one is progress bar. This is a nicer option, a little more clean. Obviously you can resize everything. Also, as I'm doing this, just to say that really quickly, you could click in the center, move it where you want. Whatever's highlighted, you can resize and shape from there. Also, like I said, all of these can be customized. So if you're like, I don't want to go to design school to just make a nice looking UI, you don't have to. There's a ton of options already pre-built into WeakAuras. You don't have to get custom like I do in order to have something elegant and beautiful. Model is something I also never use, but it is possible. Model is essentially going to give you a 3D character that you can have pop up as a cause of a trigger. So let's say you wanted a strangely white dwarf, or Draenei, sorry, to appear on your screen. You can do that. I don't want that, but like some people are really into that, and if that's you, like, cool, you do you, boo. Icon is single-handedly the most important WeakAura type that you will ever use. You will use this a ton. Icon is going to display a spell or an icon that exists within the game, whether it's an item, an ability, a spell, whatever. Just like in the intro, you saw when Power Word Shield came off of cooldown, how it appeared on the screen for a second. That is an icon WeakAura. These are extremely handy, very powerful. for a ton of different uses. Whether you're tracking buffs, whether you're tracking when a cooldown's available, it is the most common and powerful single-handed weak aura to know. Empty base region, I wouldn't even worry about for right now. Group and dynamic group are really nice. Think of this as a way to control all of your weak auras at once. So if I have 15 different icon weak auras and I don't want to move just one at a time, but they're all in a group, I can move the entire group all at once. And that is really, really nice, really, really handy, very clean. Also, it's nice if I am playing multiple classes to be able to have all of my mage weak auras in one group, all of my priest auras in one group. So that way, if I want to load or unload, meaning I don't want to see the priest weak auras when I'm playing my mage, it is very simple and easy to do so. That is the first menu. This is a quick rundown. Also, do know that there is the import button down here. I guess I should explain that really quickly. This is to import custom weak auras that somebody else wrote. You can also access it from the top up here. Other than that, that's basically the first menu. We will get into all of the details of the second menu, as well as making your custom weak auras one at a time. Stay tuned to the next video. If this helped you, please consider a like, comment, or subscribing. We are a small channel. Every little bit helps. And also, if you do have any questions regarding anything I went over, please drop a comment down below. I will constantly be checking them, and I will try my best to get you an answer as quickly as possible. Let's get into the second video in the series, and I will see you in just a few minutes.